That's a good introduction. Yeah, what I was always saying that, you got to have a gift of tongue. What? Gift of tongue. Because then I have to speak some language that maybe is hard to understand, not because I'm speaking English. My wife has a story of speaking English when she worked in one of the city in Texas, and at lunch she was sitting with a Bangladesh, Indian, Thai, and Hong Kong, and they were speaking and laughing, talking, and the American on the next table, what language you are speaking? English. Why don't you understand? They said, but we understand each other. So that's what happened to you now. Okay? Should I apologize for that?
Pardon?
Should I apologize for that? That you cannot understand me? Oh no. Okay, that's Indonesia.
Yes, it's on.
That's okay. That's Indonesia. People are asking. One day I was in Ohio, in the city of Columbus, and we visited an elementary school, and a little girl by the age of 8 years old, I believe, said, "Where is Indonesia?" How will I explain to that little girl? Fortunately, there was a globe. So I said, hold your finger in your place now, Columbus, Ohio, and then turn halfway. That's Indonesia. Huh? So you were below there, underneath there? Exactly, I said. And when I were in Indonesia, you were below. And she went, oh no, how wonderful that earth that God, created. I told her. I said, God created. Yeah. But that's it, because you cannot talk about religion in a school here in America. Okay, let's read one first, because if not, then there's no need for us to come here. And that first that I prepared already been read last night. Pastor Kevin already read it. 1 Corinthians. I cannot remember now. What's the chapter? 9:16. 9:16. Maybe somebody has a memory that is so really good, and you have already memorized it. Read it from your. Oh, what's that? How to say that? Read it from your brain. 1 Corinthians 9:16. Somebody want to read it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh no, somebody. I ask somebody.
For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing of glory to glory of, for necessary is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel.
Woe unto me if I do not preach the gospel. Can you imagine if it sounds in the morning and you just go to work and do not tell anybody about Christ or about salvation or about grace of God, that Pastor Kevin just spoke very nicely last night. So that's the actually why we are talking about missionary or mission. Now, I am not a missionary by organization. I was before. For 25 years, I was the director of the Things to Commission in Indonesia. But still, my status was not exactly missionary at the time, because I was asking, this is not a good story, but it happened, so it's okay to tell. I was asking like Berean Searchlight in Bereans Bible Society in TCM is called, what's that? Interharvest. I said, please send me one Interharvest, please. And the answer was, no, you are not a missionary. So I didn't get it, because I was not a missionary. Because I was a missionary called tent maker missionary. So I was a missionary, was a tent maker up to this time. Okay. Now, Indonesia is a very, very big country. I mean, compared to China, of course, it's a small country. Russia, and compared to America and Indonesia, I believe from Los Angeles to New York is just exactly the same thing. It's 3,200 miles. And 1,200 miles north to south. The only difference with America is that you see that was waters, 2/3 of waters and 1/3 of land. So if the population of Indonesia is the same as population of America, then it's very crowded. Fortunately, only 270 people, say 270 million people there. Out of 270 million, only 6% Christians. When Dutch, after occupying Indonesia for 350 years, only 3% of population. 80 million population, so about 7 million people Christian. So there was a nickname given to Christianity in Indonesia. You are a colonial religion, so why should we become Christian? But if it was true that Christianity is a colonial religion, then after 350 years, at least 80%, Christian, but not. Only 7%. I mean, only 3%. So it's not true. But that's okay. It's a lot of not true down there. Only in the Bible you can get true, because your word is the truth. John said. Yeah, the Apostle John wrote it. Okay. So that's the geography. Asia on the northwest, and then Australia down there. Why should I do this? I have a pointer. Sorry. See? I just like Paul, sometimes forgot. This is Australia, and this is Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. And then this is Papua New Guinea. And then in between, Philippines, because TCM has a strong mission in the Philippines. The number of churches, Grace Bible Church in Indonesia, is about 67 to 70 churches, but we call congregations. Why? Because the system in Indonesia is different from America. You can have now Grace Bible Church, Benning Grace Bible Church. Before was Bethany Bible Church, by your own, nothing above you. In Indonesia, you cannot do that. We tried to. We wanted to be like a Corinthian. Nobody wants to be like a Corinthians church. Huh? Okay, Philippians then. Philippians. Or Colossians, like the one that Pastor Mike just preached last Sunday. Yeah. No, nobody wants to be Corinthian. No? I believe so. Okay, now. In Indonesia, you cannot do that. You cannot have a church that grow by itself or support itself. What you call it? Extend, propagate by itself, and govern by itself. You have to have a national organization. Why? Because there's a Department of Religion in Indonesia, centrally. Also, in America, you are a federal system. Indonesia is a centralized government. So when you have a church like this, I'm not saying small like this, I said like this, you have to go register in the central, in Washington. You cannot do that. It's too far away, too costly, and it's difficult to get registered. So we have to have a national organization. I was the president of the national organization for 16 years. and we started from zero. Not exactly. We started by Jesus, so it's not zero. So I will be saying something wrong if I said zero. Only God can start something from zero. See? So yeah, Jesus started. So when people say, I don't like to your church. Next Sunday I will go to another church. I said, okay. I said, go. And then when you find something bad there, come back here, the door is open wide. I said, why are you saying that? Because we have only Jesus. If there is some churches down there, Jesus plus, then go. Here only Jesus. Jesus plus nothing. We are saved only by Jesus. By the grace of God. Plus zero. Plus nothing. Okay, now we continue. I'm tend to preach now, Pastor Dan. Sorry. This is his pulpit. I cannot take it. Okay. What else? These 270 million people of Indonesia speak 1,000 languages and a lot of thousands of dialects. Sometimes we only separate like 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, what's that? 1 mile, 2 miles. We speak different language. So it's good because the politician did a good job. 17 years before Indonesia got the independence from Dutch, the youth again. We need youth here in church. The youth, they had a pledge. One nation, Indonesia. One language, Indonesia. One land, Indonesia. So we can speak to each other from west to east in one language. That's called Indonesia. If not, then the Bible will be in Indonesia. And that's why there are a lot of people who are teaching that we have to speak or we have to have a gift of tongue in order to communicate each other. And they didn't. When they speak in tongue, nobody understands. So that's wrong. So thank you very much, because the Grace Bible churches do not believe that. We don't believe in speaking in tongue. Okay, go again. Now, 90% Muslim. That's why the population of Indonesia comprised of the biggest Muslim in the world. All the Muslim in the Middle East counted together still less than Islam in Indonesia. Okay, and Christianity, Christianity, non-Catholic Christian 6%, Roman Catholicism 2%, Hinduism and Buddhism 2%, and Hinduism only in one island, the island that everybody knows, somewhere there, Bali. In Bali. Oh no, that one. It's big. This one. Bali. Very small, but very famous. They don't know Indonesia, but they know Bali. Maybe. Okay. We continue a little bit. Hopefully, I'll make it. Now, mission, Grace Mission. There have been a lot of mission in Indonesia during the 350 years occupation of Dutch. But still, you see, a lot of mission, but only 3% of the population. Why? Because it's hard. You know it. It's hard to evangelize people. One of the evangelists, a local missionary, told me, "Sir, I quit. Quit from what? Quit from being a missionary or an evangelist." I said, "Why are you telling me?" "Yeah, because you are the one that signed my paper." I said, "No, I signed your paper, but that mission, that ministry, belongs to the Lord. If you want to quit, tell him. Let him know. And wait for his answer. And said, no, we don't believe that God will speak you directly now. Then I will speak on behalf of God. Woe unto me if I do not preach the gospel. Now, can you quit? Oh, no. Why? I want to share the gospel to people, because if I don't share the gospel, then maybe a lot of people will go to hell. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, we continue. So it's hard to convince people. Another evangelist, local evangelist there. I got spanked, and one of my tooth, just out of my mouth. I said, that's one thing that we do not know if Jesus got spanked so many times, how many teeth fell down from his mouth, because it never been told. But I believe a lot of teeth, because he got spanked when he was in the Sanhedrin's what do you call it? What do you call it? Sanhedrin? What is Sanhedrin? Religious authority. That
The government?
no, the Sanhedrin, the Jewish authority.
Pharisee?
That night, before they go to Roman, 3 times he was in the court of Jewish authority, and at the end, they already decided or indicted him for death, to die. But before that, he got spanked. He got everything, he got it from the religious authority already. So when, I'm sorry if you were, have ancestor of Jewish people, they said, oh no, don't blame Jewish, that was Roman. Don't need that, because he doesn't do anything Jewish or Roman that killed Jesus. No. The fact is, Jesus died and buried and raised up on the 3rd day. 1 Corinthians 15:3-4. That's our gospel. Okay, we continue now. So it's hard, but you have to do it. I mean you, including me. So we have to do it, whatever the situation. Okay? There's another, stop me if the time is up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
more minutes. You got 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes, that's good. 3 minutes is okay. In 3 minutes, I will go look at something. Now, we started the work in 1967 with about 50 to 60 young people. Again, young people. I was young at the time too. Yeah, even though I'm old now, I was young before. I haven't married. I hadn't married at the time, and we surrendered our life totally to the Lord.
Amen.
Now, that totally doesn't mean that you do not go to work, do not go to school. We went to school. We got our degrees, we applied for a job, but we were full-time gospel workers and full-time students, or full-time gospel workers and full-time employees. Now, how you do that, I do not know. I cannot even analyze it. It happened. And still after this time, we do that like that. Okay. At that time, our gospel maybe is the kingdom gospel. I said maybe because we were using that Scofield Reference Bible already at that time. But our teachers mostly from the kingdom gospel. Kingdom gospel teachers. But all the principle of salvation already there. That you are saved by grace through faith alone. No merit at all. What else? You are saved, once saved, saved forever. Already there, already. But we do not know how to divide the Bible, how to do the rightly dividing truth. See? It's already said. So that's good, because then in the middle of 1970s came from in America, from Things to Commission, the guy, the man, and the wife, his wife, Vernon and Darlene Anderson. Maybe some of you know them. And they started to work with us, and we do the organization, and he did the teaching. And from that time on, a lot of us, not all the 50 or 60 people, young people, become grace believers, but most of us. And then, how many years later? 75, we started foundation, and then in 1979 we started Grace Bible Church, not Bethany Bible Church, Grace Bible Church. In the 71, and then 2, and then 3, and then now 60. But again, our system is not congregational. We have to have an umbrella organization up there to deal with the central government. Now that umbrella cannot take it just like that. Then now the system is Presbyterian Synodal in Indonesia. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Father.
Yep. I was bringing something to compete with Pastor Kevin, that we do have a literature foundation in Indonesia, and printing books, a lot of books. This is the tree. There's 2020, 2021, 2022. Hopefully there will be another 2023, and a lot of gospel tracts and booklets. I will put there. Not this one, because this is in English. This is in Bahasa Indonesia. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Gloria.